As 2026 began, we enjoyed summer in New Zealand.
We spent our first month traveling the North Island and our second month roaming the South Island in a camper van.
Along the way, we met amazing people, witnessed spectacular landscapes, and observed unique wildlife.
In this episode, we visit the Nelson Lakes National Park, spend a night in the town of Nelson, and begin our stay in Abel Tasman.
Doors over there.
Before leaving Punakaiki, we walked down to the beach and got a nice surprise.
We drove a few minutes to the Paparoa National Park Visitor Center to see the Pancake Rocks. Yay, we made it! Calcium-rich remains were compressed. Oh, look at that. Okay. Millions of years ago, this place was all ocean. And then that's what we end up with. So cool.
We made a few stops to enjoy views during our 3-hour drive to Care Bay in Nelson Lakes National Park.
No idea. Kerbay. Or Kerbay. We're saving that spot for Don and Doris because they close at 4:30. We're worried about them.
Somebody's a worrier.
Someone's a worrier. So clear. What about that? Stand-up paddleboard. How cold is this water? Should I try stand-up paddleboarding? It's not that bad actually. It's still cold, but not that bad. To get out of Kerbay because it's way too buggy for us. Everything seems to be locked down. Alright.
The next morning, we left Care Bay early for a couple of reasons. The conditions were extra buggy for some reason here, and there were things we wanted to see in Nelson that were going to be difficult from Care Bay. So we booked a holiday park site in Nelson and took our time getting there.
New Zealand's first rugby game. How about that? Nelson Rugby Cup versus Nelson Cup.
We took time to hike up to a monument marking the center of New Zealand. It was a pretty hike with a great view.
First, I have to catch my breath though. Once we got settled in our holiday park site, we walked into the town of Nelson, specifically to the Trafalgar Square area.
The next day we drove to Mariho, within the Abel Tasman National Park. This was a short drive, but we had a few stops planned along the way.
Our first stop was Hawks Lookout, with a little hike and a very nice view from above Nelson.
Our next stop was a trailhead for a short hike on Moonraker Way to see the Split Apple Rock, another somewhat famous attraction in New Zealand. After Split Apple Rock, we drove to the holiday park and got checked in before checking out the area a little bit.
The next morning, we walked about 20 minutes to the pickup site for the Abel Tasman Eco Tour. Yeah. It has. Thank you, dear. Very kind of you.
We loaded into the boat, which was on a trailer being pulled by a tractor, back to the launch point near our campground. We saw the scene a lot in town, boats full of people on trailers being towed by tractors. Those tractors are then used to get the boats into the deeper water. This is the way.
First things Europeans started to do was cut down trees. Now they would do this for construction, for boat building, or even just for firewood. But then in 1942 they declared everywhere north of Murrahoe National Park. So the car park where I picked most of you guys up from, yeah, everything north of there became National Park. And all forestry work in the park then stopped. They still do forestry outside the park, and you would have seen it on the hill when you came into Murrahoe.
Yeah, we sure
there,
did. Yeah.
even on the hills up behind us.
Yeah.
But then there's almost a line up there where the park starts.
Yeah.
We laughed and laughed once we realized that our tour started with the Split Apple Rock attraction we had visited the previous day by foot. This view is much better though.
Water freezes and expands, and the rock broke open. There is a third theory that Chuck Norris done it, but I don't think that's true. So yeah, this is the most popular view from here because you can stand on the beach and get this picture. But what some people like to do is swim out to the rock or kayak out, and they stand between it with their hands each side.
Seen that. I
And
wonder
look
how
like
they did
pushing
that.
it. He's going to start flying, so you can see how big they are. No, he doesn't want to fly.
He doesn't want to fly.
Now the reason they made it predator free is this island is the main breeding colony in the Abel Tasman for the little blue penguin, which is the world's smallest penguin.
Yes, they're so cute.
Now they have them all around New Zealand, they have them in Australia, but in the Abel Tasman this is the main breeding colony. Now they also nest all around the shoreline as well.
Our guide, Darren, shared a ton of history and information with us and brought us to lots of spots with likely chances of spotting wildlife. He found fur seals with pups basking on the rocks and playing in the pools. It was very cool.
We stopped at Bark Bay for tea and biscuits, which seems like a New Zealand guided tour tradition.
Yeah. One we don't complain about. On our way out, Darren also showed us a hose available for boaters that supplies fresh water directly from a spring on the bay. It was, in fact, the best water we've ever tasted.
Yeah.
And those are black crab rolls up at the top there?
No, they are the pied cornrows.
Pied cornrows. Look at that.
Just to prove this, I'm going to drink it first.
Oh.
Right, that is better than any tap water you've ever tried. So who wants to have a go?
Oh,
It's natural spring water.
That tastes really
Better than anything you get out of a tap.
That's for sure.
So you've drunk water out of the sea. Just crouch your ear while I do this. You can have your feet.
I'm going to move out of the way.
Anyone else?
Yeah, well, go ahead.
If you've got any drink bottles you want to fill up, this is the place to do it.
Have a sip.
Now in 1954, Vern bought a little house that was at the back of this beach and he paid £20 for it. Now it's what the Kiwis call a batch. It's just a small place, 2 bedrooms, a kitchen and a shower. Driveway. Now that's a weird thing to say because there's no roads here. It's an amphibious boat.
Hi. Yeah. How's the walk? Good?
Great.
All right.
That's right.
Fantastic. Highly recommend.
A lot easier than a walk.
A lot easier than a walk.
Oh.
Oh yeah, there they are. Awesome. John, look behind you. Yeah, you're right. We did that yesterday.
We're squeezed between this narrow gap now, this island, and there's a big rock in the water. We need everybody to breathe in and hold it. That's what's nice, right? Okay, you can all breathe out again now. So yeah, at low tide there is no water in here.
Oh wow. Oh, wow. What is this?
All these trees overhanging the edge here, these are all the manuka trees.
They're all what?
Manuka.
Oh,
End up strangling their host. And they'll take
John, look at that one. He's coming out of the water. Great shot.
We took a break on the beach for lunch. Darren showed us where there was a small waterfall and a pool nearby.
Cute. What's that? I guess I'll say goodbye to my little Weka friend. Hop on board.
same tractors towed our boat back onto land through the shallow water. This was an amazing tour. We really enjoyed it.
Holy cow.
This is a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many
Made it.
when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin, beginning to thaw from within. Today and not tomorrow, there's no time to borrow.
Was it pike oyster catcher?
Today is a good day to live.
We walked to the Abel Tasman Aqua Taxi office to catch a water taxi to Bark Bay.
Our plan was to hike the 8-mile segment from Bark Bay to Anchorage and then catch another water taxi back to Mariho.
Bye, thank you. What's that?
The hike was great, and we both did great.
There was lots of ups and downs and a couple of spots where we weren't sure about it, but we did it.
And we made it back to Anchorage in plenty of time to catch the last water taxi of the day back to Mariho. In our next and final episode, we travel to Collingwood to tour the Farewell Spit, return to Abel Tasman for another hike, drive to our final holiday park in Kaikoura, where we see seals and whales before ending our adventures in New Zealand.